What's going on, y'all? So we back. I got logo out here in a little bit of a different scenario. And I'm not making her work so much as just spending time with her. And I'm making her still work with her mind, but we're gonna do it in a slow and controlled motion. And we're just gonna have fun. We're not gonna do any hard working or anything of that nature. We're just going to feed her and engage with her at the same time. Now, you're gonna hear a lot of loud noises, but this is what I do. I expose my logo to all environments. Right now, I have two neighbors who are getting their grass cut, and so there's gonna be a mower ride by maybe at some point in time during this video. I'm not sure how long we're gonna be out here, but she still has to hear all those sounds and still be able to respond at the same time, even with her going through stressful environments. My job is to try and make the environment not stressful for her. Her job is to try and maneuver through this stressful environment. So here we go. We're gonna ride the girl out. I'm gonna try to not make her sit as much as possible. We're just gonna work through downs and rises and just going to different places. But since she had her tail docked, docked, I don't want to make her sit on it. She shows me that it's uncomfortable if she does, but she's not medicated or anything right now. And we're working in the shade because I don't want to stress her. So I'm looking for shady areas in my yard to take her to work, and this is what I found. And I'm gonna show you that her tail is back to wagging as we work. I just noticed that this morning. Uh, I'm not stressing her on her focus. I'm not stressing her. I'm trying to let her relax, but know that, hey, this is still how we move. Like, we don't go to a bowl because something's happened. If I were out in the wild, we would be moving and I wouldn't be able to put a bowl on the ground. What I'm saying is, think light. You can't move out in survival with a bowl and a, like, we find water when we can, we find food when we can. Like, even the fact that I'm coming out here first thing in the morning to provide her with food is like the wrong impression to be giving her. And the reason I say that is because it might not always happen that way. Like, we find food when we find food. All right, let's start walking a little bit. Come on. This is getting her warmed up, getting her stretched. She's got to get out the crate. She's got to do something. I don't want her muscles to get weak just sitting in a crate for 2 weeks. So I got to keep her mind engaged. I got to keep her body engaged. I have taken her for a nice long walk. It's the same walk we've been doing since she was a pup. I'm saying we do it. I'm not going to say it's every day, but we do it on a regular basis. I'm not stressing her. This is pretty much a leash controlled walk. Come on. And we're just going to let her get through her food. That was just her following. This is all we're doing right now. I got a couple mats out here just in case. Okay. On the right. And I will see if we get her tail wagging. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to raise my voice. And a lot of that raising my voice is what shows her the seriousness of the moment. And that's what gets her excited. She knows we're getting pumped up, and that's why I cause Happy Tail, because I get her excited. She's like, we're about to work. We're about to do something. And that I could not control. I could not figure out how to slow it down. I made her happy by using the sounds the way that she wanted to hear them. All right, we can do that if that's what you want to do. Heel. So this is something that I do, and this is a very easy thing. Heel. This is a very easy thing to do with your dog, and this is how I'm planning on starting my scent work. I need my dog to be able to identify the scent of coconut in foods so that I can stop having allergic reactions to coconut. So here we go. We're just playing around. This is the beginning. She's still a puppy. So I just threw a few out there, and I say, find it. I don't know how many I threw out there, but she'll let me know. Once she can't smell anymore, she'll stop looking. She knows that there's no more when there's no more. I'll show you. Find it. Find it. Find it. She's like, I don't smell anymore. And I've learned how to communicate with her. Another thing, I'm paying attention to her body language now because now I have to learn a whole new body language from her because her tail was an easy indicator for me to understand what was going on. Now I'm gonna have to pay attention to how her tail responds to me now, and we're gonna ease into it. Right now, I should keep her in a relaxed state. I'm not gonna stress her at all. I'm gonna keep her in a relaxed state. And the reason I'm gonna keep her in a relaxed state is so I can understand what a relaxed state looks like. And then I'm gonna stress her slowly. I'm not gonna just go to yelling at her. I'm saying I can't control how I feel all the time. And she's always with me. So yes, I could go to yelling at her during this video. I'm saying I'm human. But what I'm saying is I don't want to stress her, so I come out with the intention of just letting her relax. Basically, she can't do anything wrong unless she does something completely wrong, like outside of basic. All right, so what I'm gonna show you is, watch this. Logo. We've never done this in this area, and two reasons. One, it's a fresh scent area, and two, to make it harder for her to find it, or easier at the same time. Logo. Find it. Find it. I only threw one, and when she's done, well, I'll tell her to come back. This is how you stress their minds when they're little. You stress their minds even at her age. She doesn't know she's working right now. Right now, she thinks she's foraging for food while I'm talking to no one. I don't know, but you get where I'm coming from. She's doing a job. Logo. I don't know if she found it or not. We'll see. I'll throw out another one. But I'm just stressing her and playing with her at the same time. Logo, find it. Find it. I'm letting her work. I'm letting her have a little bit of time to stretch her body. It's stretching her mind. It's giving her a little bit of nose, like time to use her nose. Like, it's just making her a better, well-rounded dog all the way around. And we're not having aggressive type of fun. We're having a relaxed type of fun. And sometimes this is needed just as much as an aggressive type of fun. And I can have that. We could go to having an aggressive fun right after this, but I don't want to because she just had surgery. Look up. Find it. And I just do it. You can do as many as you want. The hard thing about doing more than one at a time is she'll be out there for a long time. Now, if you have a chore that you want to do, once your dog is good enough to go out and come back to you, kind of like she just did, you can throw out a handful, but I don't want to do that because I want to be able to control the time in this video. Logo. Find it. And we're going to stop that one because I just wanted to show that that's something you can... What are you doing? Okay, well, see, and that's what I mean. I want her to be able to enjoy herself, but I don't want her to bust her stitches open. But she's been in a cone all night. So I need to let her just roll around and enjoy herself. She found it. She's doing what she wants to do. And I'm saying she would do that in the wild. I feel bad about correcting her. Good girl. Good girl. So now we can go back to follow. Between. Hey. Good girl. And we can just take it slow. It ain't got to be a fast pace today. We just got to get through our food. And this is all we got to do. This is exactly what I tell people to do for a puppy. Only difference between what I'm doing and what you would be doing on the right. Only difference between what I'm doing and what you would be doing is you would have a leash attached to your dog right now. And I don't have a leash attached to my dog right now because I don't want her to feel like she's in any kind of training right now. I just want her to feel like we're just out getting breakfast. That's it. I just picked a handful of berries or whatever, and I'm giving them to her while I'm out looking for food for myself. Like, the great thing about a dog is back in the day, you didn't have to worry about like, think about what I'm saying. When people went out and hunted, they would have a bunch of parts of the animal that they would not eat. And that would make an excellent treat for their companion that would go out and hunt with them. So they would just cut it up probably in the dirt, and they would do this all day. They would just walk around in the woods doing whatever task they expected that dog to do, and They just handed it beef jerky sticks between. That's all they did. Like, people are overcomplicating this junk. Like, I'm saying, if you want your dog to be just a pretty decoration, then treat it like a pretty decoration. But if you want your dog to be what you want it to be, then you need to treat your dog like you want it around you. And this is how you do that. Hey. Between. When they understand the food comes from your hand, on the right, and then you can figure out what the heck you want to name it between. It is really just that simple. Hey! This is how I'm doing. I'm not stressing her. I'm not working her. We're just out doing what our normal routine would be every single day. And I'm feeding her along the way. That's it. I haven't touched her. I haven't even given her a bunch of commands today. Like, I'm not telling her a bunch that's like making her mind go crazy. I'm not trying to stress her. But when you watch the videos in the morning, yes, I'm trying to stress her. And the reason I'm trying to stress her in those videos is because I'm saying, if she breaks in the morning before I go somewhere, like say it's too hot. This is what I'm saying. It's like a temperature check. If it's too hot or she's not feeling well and she's not listening to what I'm saying between. If she's not listening to what I'm saying, I can't get her attention. Then that means something's wrong with her. And then I can rush her to the vet, or I can just decide, hey, you're just being stubborn. But clearly, when you look at it about food drive, they're not stubborn. She's listening because she wants this food. And guess what? We're almost done, y'all. And I'm not gonna make this a long video. I realized yesterday I made that video very, very long. Between, turn, between. She's gonna do it without me. See, she gotta learn that turn means this. Yes, turn. And then what I'm saying is one day I'll be able to say sit, or actually rise. I'm sorry, people ago. I said I wasn't gonna make her sit. Stay. Stay. One day I want to be able to say that and say turn. Turn. Ah. So let's say turn. Turn. Yes. Good girl. Ah, rise. Yes, good girl. Between. Turn. Yes, good girl. See? And now she'll know turn. Yes, good girl. Turn. Yes, good girl. Turn. Yes, good girl. So now she'll understand that turn means both. Between. Turn. Yes, good girl. Turn. Yes, good girl. Between. Turn. Yes, good girl. And so, hey, that just happened right there in that moment. I never did that before, but I realized it. So then once I realized something, I can show her what I realized. Does that make sense? That was me putting that together in real time. That's what I'm saying. I only make up things that I need to work in my life. Everybody is different. Everybody doesn't need an aggressive dog. Everybody doesn't need an attack dog. Everybody doesn't need a dog with a whole lot of energy, like it's going to run a course at its fastest speed. That's not what everybody needs. And I found out how to make the kind of dog that I need by just simply having it in my life. That's how simple this is. Hold on. Good. Good. That was good. Yes. Hold on. Yes. And I love how I just didn't get hit by a tail. That felt so great. Thank you. That was the first time I ever did that. But the thought of that tail just whap, 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 whap. Hey, somebody make a song about that. That happy tail. Whap, 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 whap. That sound is like in my head. I can't get it out. And now, amazingly, I don't feel it or hear it. That's how that feels, yeah. To everybody who don't understand, I'm sorry if you don't understand. But one thing that I'm starting to understand, we are all different. About to ride right by us. After the mom demoralized by it, I'm gonna say we're done. Here we go. Ride. Sit. Up. Ride. Out. Out. Amazing, guys. Hey, and that's what I'm saying. If she would rather be there with her tail hurting on that mat, then that tells me the ground is more comfortable than that mat to her, especially with her tail being hurt like this. So I'm not gonna stress it. Like I said, that's where she'd rather be. And I'm saying I was really using these mats so that her tail would not touch the ground. And if anybody wants to know what these mats are, my logo just said they're not the most comfortable. I'm saying they have been the most helpful. They're just horse mats from Tractor Supply, and I cut them up into sections like this, and this is what I take different places with me to teach her placement. And then I keep big ones like this to call the name of a place that closely reminds her of this. So when we're training indoors, I make her go to this, and I gave it a name every single time. It was the same size as her crate. That's why it worked so well. And then when we were mobile, I used these and I put them in the same places that I would want her to go to. And then I could use the same name because it was a familiar texture and smell to her, and I knew I could take it anywhere. It might not have been the most comfortable, but what I'm saying is when you're out in the wild, things are not always the most comfortable, and she is a wild animal. So if you wonder why I keep referring to things as wild, I'm saying it's only unwild once it's tamed, and now that's what she is. So she was a wild dog a little over a year ago, and now she's a tame dog because we've learned how to communicate. And I hope that's what I'm doing better with everybody who's watching, is helping them learn how to better communicate. Hey y'all, much respect, much love. Y'all saw how I train her around loud noises. I don't make her avoid them. I lean into them, and that's how you should do with all your fears, and that means all your hears, everything you see too. That's what you do. Everything I say, I try to keep that junk true. Hey, we through.